Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Happy New Year. Hope everybody's doing well. Today's topic is going to be think differently to feel differently. So I'll get to that in a minute. It's gorgeous. Blue sky, white clouds. Breathe in something good. Exhale the bad. Breathe in the clarity and certainty. Exhale the doubt. I love how the trees are perfectly silhouetted with the bright sky. It's awesome. So think differently to feel differently. And when I say feel differently, I mean both emotionally and physically feeling differently. So it's a well-known fact that our thoughts and our emotions are extremely tightly connected, right? We can absolutely think our way into emotions. Absolutely. And emotions can absolutely cause our thinking to start spinning and spiraling and ruminating. So if you want to feel differently, it's really important to start evaluating and seeing, how am I thinking? And is my thinking feeding, lots of negative emotions? And then those negative emotions plus the thinking, is that feeding my physical pain or symptoms? I would say they're all like three spokes on a wheel. If your thinking gets a little bit out of control, what happens to your emotions? They can start climbing. And if your emotions and your thoughts are spinning, what happens to your physical sensations or pains? They can start climbing as well. And any one of those three things can start that wheel spinning, right? So you have an ouch moment where your symptoms kind of, and that gets your, thoughts spinning. And when you have that ouch moment, your thoughts are spinning, what happens to your fear levels and your catastrophic thinking and your anger and your frustration? That starts climbing, and before you know it, that wheel is spinning faster and faster and faster. So if it's out of control and you're deep in a panic and you're really, kind of stuck, consumed by the symptoms, the thoughts, and the emotions surrounding it, sometimes a real good way to put the brakes on that wheel spinning is to go to the body. Relax the body so that you can start to breathe more naturally, comfortably. Because here's the deal. When that wheel is spinning with the thoughts, emotions, and sensations, it's really tough to think your way out of that, right? You ever try to think your way out of a panic attack? Think your way out of a freak out? Doesn't work so well, but you can go to the body. You can kind of let your body sink into the chair, the couch, the bed. Just allow your breathing to slow down. After a while, the thinking comes back online. So here's where the think differently to feel differently comes into play. So much about this process, so much of what I teach is all about accurate knowledge. How does this system called the human body work? And based on that accurate knowledge, really encouraging you and trying to give you the data and the information so that accurate knowledge can help you to dial down the fear. Now, it's easy when the thoughts are spinning and the emotions are climbing and the symptoms are blaring. It's easy to lose that accurate knowledge and just kind of get caught up in things. But after you've taken a moment or two to slow the breathing down, let your body relax, the rational thought comes back online. And this is your opportunity to think differently, to feel differently. So what you're going to do is think accurate thoughts. That TMS, perceived danger, pain, or symptoms, by definition means that it's all created in the brain. That your body's actually okay. When you start to realize that the loud sensations are nothing other than a warning signal or a false alarm, you start to realize, see, that accurate thinking can have the emotions of fear and anger start to settle down. Now I get that these symptoms and sensations can be troublesome and cause the thinking and cause the emotions. But the accurate data and thinking differently about what's going on can absolutely have the emotions start to settle down. And when the emotions of fear settle down and when the thinking settles down, what do you think is going to happen to the sensations? The brain's eventually going to catch on and let them settle down too. Now, consistency is key, because you absolutely can't be thinking and feeling, pretty good one day, freaking out the next hour, and then go back to thinking calmly and reassuringly and expect the brain to go, oh, I get it, he's safe now. He wasn't 10 minutes ago, but he's safe now. The subconscious brain's going to move many steps behind your thinking, emotions, and mindset. And the mindset is basically, I'm not broken. So this thinking differently to feel differently absolutely applies to things besides chronic symptoms or pains. It absolutely applies to what we feel about ourselves, what we feel about our partners, our families, our friends, our jobs, our lives in general. And if you are finding yourself in some really deep, heavy emotions, a lot of times, and you're not in a state of panic, but if you're still really in the doldrums and really not too happy with how things have been going, think differently to feel differently. Accurate knowledge about symptoms and pain can absolutely cause you to feel less emotional about the symptoms and allow you to ride out a tough day if you're having one. But again, apply this to life too. If you're pretty upset about something or someone, think differently to feel differently. And I'm not saying we let people off the hook, forgive people that sometimes don't warrant forgiveness. But you can make a choice at any point in time. If you're ruminating and spinning on negative things, and I'm so upset about this or that, or I want to say this to that person, and I really wish I said that last time I saw him, and if you're ruminating, you can literally go, hard stop. I don't need to do this. I don't need to focus on that. Instead, I'm going to focus on something I'm grateful for. And for some people, they're like, yeah, but I don't have anything to be grateful for. And I get it. I understand that. That's a tough place to be. But here's what I'll tell you. I am eternally optimistic that with accurate knowledge, thinking differently, you can feel differently, emotionally and physically. And you can dig yourself out from the deepest despair. You can. How do I know? Because I've worked with people who've done that. People who didn't want to be on the planet last August are living life and loving life and going through it in crazy, intense holiday season with no symptoms, sensations, or anxiety. But they didn't want to be on the planet a little more than a year ago. And was it an overnight switch? No, it wasn't. Did it take some effort? Absolutely. But it really began with the accurate knowledge and a decision that says, if I apply this accurate knowledge and some of the concepts that Dan's teaching, I see it. I can get better. And it's baby steps. And sometimes it's a zig and a zag, and you get a little bit better, and then slam, it's back down again. And next thing you know, you're still moving forward, making progress. But that whole journey is all about accurate knowledge and thinking better so that you can feel better. So if you're really deep in despair, know that there's a solution and know that it's a proven solution. I didn't make this stuff up. I've observed this stuff over the past 25 years since my chronic pain started. And I've been pain-free for, at least 12 years. I'm losing track of the time, but Long time, well over a decade. And I've been interacting with people, solid, for 3 3/4 years with daily videos and getting the feedback and input from everybody in their comments and messages and emails and one-on-one calls and group calls. I'm seeing it every day, folks. People are getting better. And I don't care how deep in the doldrums you are. You're a human being just like everybody else. And if you're saying to yourself, yeah, Dan, but I'm different. Are you? Your brain works the same way everybody else's does. Think differently to feel differently. Take my optimism. Borrow my hope. Borrow my confidence. I've got enough for everybody. I know this stuff works without a shadow of a doubt. And so, take some steps. Start moving forward. Start thinking differently. If you want a good place to begin, go to painfreeyou.com/start. There's a getting started page on my website under the Get Help menu. It's a great place to go to understand the foundational knowledge that I always talk about as to what's going on, how things work. There are assessments there that you can take to rule in mind-body symptoms or pains. And then once done, there's both free and paid options for you to move forward. And tons of people are getting better just watching my free stuff. So please, if you can't afford it or the times don't work out, don't write yourself off. You can still get better. So many people are. And by the way, I mentioned it yesterday. Probably within the next week, I will be announcing 1 or 2 more call times during the week. And kind of open it up a little bit more with varying times during the day. No, I'm not going to do a weekend. Sorry, folks. Weekends are for me. I still do the daily videos, but I'm not going to run a full-blown group coaching call. So anyway, keep an eye on that. I will be announcing that once I add these other time slots. And think differently to feel differently. And notice how that applies to way beyond this TMS, perceived danger, pain, or symptoms world. It applies to life. Change your thinking, you might just change your life. So, love you guys and gals. I will see you tomorrow, and that's a promise. Take care. Love you.